Have you ever felt like the world is moving on without you? As we age, many of us experience this unsettling feeling, as if we've lost our roles and purpose in life. It's like we're standing in a crowded room, yet no one seems to notice us. This can lead to feelings of invisibility and being forgotten. But what if I told you that this isn't the whole story? Today, we're diving into the emotional journey of feeling invisible in later life and exploring how you can reclaim your sense of purpose and connection. Now, you might think that feeling invisible is just a natural part of aging, but that's not entirely true. Studies show that social engagement and a sense of purpose are crucial for our well-being, regardless of age. In fact, research from the National Institute on Aging highlights that staying connected can improve mental health and even extend our lifespan. So, why do so many of us feel unseen? It's often because society tends to overlook the wisdom and experience that come with age. But here's the reality. You have so much to offer, and it's time to let that shine. In this video, we'll cover some key insights to help you feel seen and valued. First, we'll discuss the power of community and how building connections can transform your daily life. Did you know that joining a group or club can significantly boost your happiness? Next, we'll explore the importance of self-expression and how sharing your stories can create meaningful bonds. And finally, we'll look at ways to redefine your purpose, because having a goal can reignite your passion for life. The third point will surprise you. By watching, you'll discover practical ways to feel engaged and appreciated, no matter your age. We'll also address common mistakes, like isolating yourself or underestimating your worth. So, if you're ready to embark on this journey of rediscovery, stick around. And hey, if you relate to this topic, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's dive in and start feeling visible again. Let's dive into rediscovering your role in life. You know, as we get older, it can sometimes feel like we're fading into the background. But the truth is, we still have so much to offer. Our roles might change, but that doesn't mean they're any less important. It's all about redefining what those roles are now that some of our traditional responsibilities have shifted. Think about it. You've spent years, maybe decades, building up a wealth of experience. That's something incredibly valuable. It's like having a treasure chest full of wisdom that you can share with others, and there are so many ways to do that. For instance, have you ever thought about volunteering in community projects? It's a fantastic way to stay active and engaged, and it gives you a chance to make a real difference. Plus, it can be a lot of fun. Or how about mentoring younger generations? I mean, who better to guide them than someone who's been through it all? You can share your stories, your lessons, and maybe even learn a thing or two from them. It's a two-way street, really. And let's not forget about starting a new hobby or interest. It's never too late to pick up something new. Whether it's painting, gardening, or even learning to play an instrument, these activities can bring a lot of joy and fulfillment. Now, I get it. Embracing change can be daunting. There's always that fear of rejection or failure lurking in the back of our minds. And sometimes finding new opportunities can feel like searching for a needle in a haystack. But here's the thing. Change is also an opportunity. It's a chance to reinvent yourself, to explore new paths you might not have considered before. Start small. Maybe join a local club or an online forum where you can connect with others who share your interests. It's a great way to build confidence and find your footing. And remember, you're not alone in this. There are plenty of community groups out there that are eager to welcome new members. Our roles give us identity and purpose. They make us feel needed and valued. So redefining them can help us regain that sense of belonging. I remember a time when I felt a bit lost myself. I'd just retired and suddenly my days felt empty. But then, I started volunteering at a local animal shelter. It was something I'd always wanted to do but never had the time for. And you know what? It brought me so much joy. Seeing those wagging tails and knowing I was making a difference, it was incredibly rewarding. So, what about you? Have you taken on a new role recently that brought you joy? Maybe it's something small, like helping a neighbor with their garden, or something bigger, like organizing a community event. Whatever it is, I'd love to hear about it. Sharing our experiences can inspire others to take that first step too. Let's talk about building new connections. You know, it's so important to form new relationships and keep those social connections alive. I mean, we all know how loneliness can creep in, especially as we get older. And it's not just about feeling a bit down. Loneliness can actually impact our health. It's like when you're isolated, it's not just your mood that suffers, but your body too. So how do we tackle this? Well, one way is by joining clubs or social groups. Think about it. There are so many out there, from book clubs to gardening groups. And these aren't just activities, they're opportunities to meet people who share your interests. I remember a friend of mine who joined a local walking group. At first she was hesitant, worried about not knowing anyone. But she gave it a shot, and now she's got a whole new circle of friends. They walk, they chat, they even have coffee together afterward. It's like a little community. Reconnecting with old friends is another great way to feel seen. Sometimes, life takes us in different directions, and we lose touch. But reaching out can be so rewarding. I once reconnected with a high school friend after decades. We picked up right where we left off, and it was like no time had passed. It's amazing how those old bonds can still be so strong. And then there's technology. I know, it can be a bit daunting. But using technology to stay in touch is more accessible than ever. Video calls, social media, even just texting. It's all there to help us connect. If you're not sure where to start, maybe take a class or ask a tech-savvy friend to show you the ropes. It's worth it, trust me. Of course, meeting new people isn't always easy. Social anxiety or shyness can be real barriers. But remember, everyone feels a bit nervous at first. It's okay to take small steps. Maybe start by attending local events or classes. You never know who you might meet. And if technology feels like a hurdle, learning some basic skills can open up a whole new world. It's like learning to ride a bike. Once you get the hang of it, you'll wonder how you ever managed without it. The thing is, human connection is vital for our emotional well-being. It's like a lifeline that keeps us grounded and combats those feelings of invisibility. We all want to be seen, to be heard, to feel like we matter. And building new connections can help us achieve that. So what about you? Have you made a new connection recently? Maybe you joined a group or reconnected with an old friend. I'd love to hear about it. Share your story in the comments. It's always inspiring to hear how others are finding their way through this journey. And who knows, your story might just encourage someone else to take that first step. Let's talk about embracing change and technology. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Technology can feel like a whole new world, right? But the thing is, it can actually be a wonderful tool for connection and learning. Imagine being able to video call your grandkids whenever you want, or finding a new hobby through online courses. It's like opening a door to a room full of possibilities. Take learning to use a smartphone, for example. At first, it might seem like a daunting task, with all those apps and settings. But once you get the hang of it, it becomes second nature. You can send messages, take photos, and even play games. It's like having a little computer in your pocket. And it's not just about the phone itself. It's about staying connected with the people you love and the world around you. Then there's social media. Now, I know it can seem a bit overwhelming at first, all those platforms and notifications. But think of it as a way to peek into the lives of your friends and family, no matter where they are. You can share your own stories, see what others are up to, and even join groups that share your interests. It's like being part of a big global conversation. And let's not forget about online courses. They're a fantastic way to learn something new without leaving the comfort of your home. Whether it's painting, cooking, or even a new language, there's a course out there for you. It's like having a personal tutor available whenever you want. Plus, it keeps your mind active and engaged, which is so important as we age. Now I get it. Embracing technology can be a bit scary. There's always that fear of the unknown, right? But here's the thing. It's okay to feel that way. We all do at some point. The key is to take it one step at a time. You don't have to learn everything at once. Start with something small, like sending a text message or browsing the internet. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Younger family members or friends are usually more than happy to lend a hand. They might even enjoy showing you the ropes. Of course, there are challenges. You might feel overwhelmed by all the new information or resistant to change. That's perfectly normal. But remember, every little step you take is a step towards opening new avenues for engagement and learning. It's about keeping your mind open and curious. So what technology have you recently learned to use? Maybe it's something as simple as setting up an email account or as complex as navigating social media. Whatever it is, celebrate those achievements. Each one is a testament to your willingness to embrace change and stay connected with the world. In the end, technology is just a tool. It's how we use it that makes all the difference. So let's embrace it, one step at a time, and see where it takes us. Who knows? You might just discover a new passion or reconnect with an old friend. And isn't that what life's all about? Leaving a legacy. It's something we all think about at some point, right? I mean, who doesn't want to be remembered, to have their life mean something even after they're gone? But how do we actually do that? How do we make sure our stories, our experiences, our wisdom don't just fade away? Well, let's dive into some ideas. First off, storytelling. It's such a powerful tool. Think about it. Stories have been passed down for generations, shaping cultures and families. And your story? It's just as important. You might think, oh, my life isn't that interesting. But trust me, it is. Every life is a tapestry of experiences, and yours is no different. Maybe you could start by writing a memoir or a family history. It doesn't have to be a bestseller, just something for your family to cherish. Imagine your great-grandchildren reading about your adventures, your challenges, your triumphs. It's like giving them a window into your world. And then there's the idea of creating a family photo album. Pictures, they say, are worth 1,000 words. They capture moments, emotions, and stories that words sometimes can't. You could gather old photos, maybe even add little notes or stories behind each one. It's a beautiful way to preserve memories and share them with future generations. Passing down skills or traditions is another wonderful way to leave a legacy. Maybe you have a special recipe that's been in the family for years, or a craft or skill that you excel at. Teaching these to your children or grandchildren not only keeps the tradition alive, but also strengthens those bonds. It's like planting seeds that will grow and flourish long after you're gone. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What if my story isn't important? Or maybe you're worried about procrastination. It's easy to put things off, especially when it feels overwhelming. But here's a little secret. Start small. You don't have to write a whole book in one sitting. Maybe just jot down a few memories or stories. Share them with family and friends. You'll be surprised at how much they appreciate it and how it encourages you to keep going. And why is all this important? Well, leaving a legacy ensures that your life and experiences are valued and remembered. It's about making sure that your journey, with all its ups and downs, is acknowledged and celebrated. It's about saying, I was here and I mattered. Let me share a little story. A friend of mine, let's call her Mary, once told me about how she started writing letters to her grandchildren. Just little notes about her day, her thoughts, her memories. At first, she thought, who would want to read this? But those letters became treasures for her family. They were a way for her to connect, to share her life, and to leave a piece of herself behind. So, here's a thought. Why not share a story or tradition you hope to pass down? It doesn't have to be grand or perfect, just something from the heart. Because in the end, it's these little things that make life meaningful and ensure that, even if you feel invisible sometimes, your legacy will shine brightly for generations to come. You know, it's funny how life can sometimes feel like a play where the spotlight's moved on, but we're still here, right? I mean, what really makes us feel alive? It's not just the big moments, but those little things too. Like I remember a friend telling me how gardening makes her feel connected to the earth, like she's part of something bigger. And honestly, isn't that what we all want? To feel like we matter, like we're part of the story? The thing is, purpose doesn't have an expiration date. It evolves just like we do. Maybe it's volunteering, or picking up a new hobby, or even just having a good chat with a neighbor. It's those moments that remind us we're still in the game. So, what about you? What makes you feel truly alive? Is it a morning walk, a favorite book, or maybe something else entirely? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's keep this conversation going because, well, we're all in this together. So, we've covered a lot today, haven't we? We've talked about rediscovering your role, building connections, embracing change, and leaving a legacy. It's a lot to take in, but, it's all about finding those little moments that make life meaningful. I mean, think about it. How often do we get caught up in the idea that we're just fading into the background? But the truth is, you're not invisible. You're still here, and you have so much to offer. I remember a friend of mine, let's call her Mary. She once told me how she felt like she was just a shadow in her own home. But then she started volunteering at a local library, sharing her love for books with kids. And you know what? She found a new sense of purpose. It's those small steps that can lead to big changes. Maybe it's not a library for you, but there's something out there that can reignite that spark. And hey, let's not forget the power of sharing your story, your experiences, your wisdom. It's like a treasure trove waiting to be discovered. Have you ever thought about writing them down or maybe even recording them? It's a way to connect with others, to let them see you for who you truly are. Plus, it's a wonderful gift to leave behind. So here's what I want you to do. If you found any of this helpful, please like and subscribe. And more importantly, share your own experiences in the comments. Let's create a space where we can all learn from each other. Because the thing is, age is just a number. Your life is full of potential and purpose, and you are never truly invisible. Remember, every day is a new opportunity to be seen, to be heard, and to make a difference. So, let's keep this conversation going. You're not alone in this journey, and together, we can make sure that everyone knows you're still here.